Hello, everyone, and welcome to DroneNation, episode 17, the Mavic Mini Rumor Center. Tonight, we've got rumors, information. We've got reporters out in the field bringing information back to us. So we got a lot to cover. So it won't be a lot, just idle chit chat tonight. But I do want to get a few things out of the way first. This show tonight is sponsored by Mid-Valley Drones, and that's they're headed up by Stephen Fox over there in the great state of Texas or whatever. So that's our sponsorship tonight. And I just want to say, and don't miss Coast to Coast Drones Drone Therapy this week. Bill and I will be doing the channel shout out episode. So if you have a small channel and you're trying to get more viewers and get noticed, pop in there early and whatever, and we'll try to get you at the beginning of the line and get your show shout out. But on to my good friend Marcus Crawford here. Marcus, you've made a big purchase this week, but it wasn't a drone purchase, was it? And on another question I'm going to throw at you, will we be seeing the Red Durango in any future drone videos? And here at Park or anything?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. You want to talk about making your eyes water is right to check like that. But so the Durango went away, and I bought a new Chevy Tahoe High Country. So
oh wow,
yeah, you know me, Ron. I got to have the horsepower. 6.2 liter aluminum block V8, 420 horse, baby.
It can outrun the Corvette.
It cannot outrun the Corvette, but it does all right. It does all right. Trust me. So this is nothing.
Does the Tahoe cost more than the Mavic 3?
They're comparable. Very comparable. Yeah. Yes, indeed. So yeah.
So you're pretty happy with your new purchase?
I am. We drove home. We had to race ahead of the snowstorms. We went up to northern Idaho, to Kellogg, Idaho, to buy it, and we intended to make a weekend out of it, but there was a big winter storm moving in, so we just discretion is the better part of valor. So we headed home before the storm hit.
You didn't want to test the Tahoe's off-road capabilities out on the first ride.
Well, I'm quite sure that it has a lot of good four-wheel drive capabilities, but yeah, I had no desire to.
You'll say that try it out. You'll say that test drive for another day.
That's exactly right, Ron. Yeah, another day.
Well, congratulations. It sounds like you're really happy with your new vehicle, and I'm sure we'll see it in some upcoming drone videos over at Heroes Park and maybe at Snake River. You see it more in the Heroes Park videos, right?
And then so typically if I go out to Lucky Peak Reservoir, I set up right next door to where I park. So yeah, typically you see it there, but yeah, it'll be in there. And let's look at Cigar Nation Warriors. He said he had 11 inches today. Now, we didn't have any. He's in Colorado, so this is a big storm running through the country right now. I know I have friends up in Montana that are digging out from a couple of feet of snow, which it's a little bit early for that. Hey, speaking of Mid-Valley Drones, I see Stephen Fox showed up in the chat. Stephen, thank you. We are we're stating that this show today is sponsored by Mid-Valley Drones.
And go over there to Facebook and join up with their group, Mid-Valley Drones. Become a member of the group, and you can get a discount on something maybe.
Hit up his YouTube channel.
Yeah, hit the YouTube channel, go over and join the Facebook group, and tell them that the guys over at DroneNation sent you.
Yeah.
And you'll get a $5 coupon off of ice cream.
Off an ice cream cone.
Yeah, off an ice cream cone.
Hey, speaking of snow, I see Lauren's in the chat here too.
Finally clearing away, and we have one of our on-the-go reporters coming in a few minutes, and he reported snow today too, as well as other information. But we've been chit-chatting, keeping the folks at bay too long here, Marcus. Let's get into the meat of this show. So when I first woke up today, I'm going to say before 8 a.m. at my time, I get a message from Johnny Drone Flyer telling me to check out this Facebook post, he put in DroneNation. And everybody, if you're not a member of the DroneNation Facebook group over at Facebook, go over there and join up today. We have to approve you, but if we know you, we'll get you at the top of the list of the approval. No additional charge, but you can get inside information inside DroneNation. You just can't get anywhere else, right, Marcus? I mean, there's exclusive stories in there.
That's it. Don't forget the YouTube channel.
And don't forget, we need more subs. I think we lose subscribers at the YouTube channel rather than gain them. So if you're not already a subscribe, but I'm sure most of the people in here are. But tell your friends to subscribe. But anyways, so Johnny sends me some information. We've been hearing rumors about the Mini, whether it has this, that, or the other, whatever. But for the first time, it was even pictures and details. And without no further ado, I'm going to bring Johnny in to tell you, he scooped everybody with his stories. So we will bring him in. He's back in the VPI lounge right now, probably having a shrimp and the cocktails, whatever. But I think we could pull him away for a minute.
Pretty good guacamole in there, I think, too, Ron.
Okay, go easy on the guac, Johnny.
Good evening, guys. Thanks for having me on. The green room is getting much better. Every time I'm on, it's definitely improving. I still haven't found the shrimp, but we're going to find them one day. But no, this morning I'm sitting in my office drinking coffee. It's really early, I guess, I get there really early, but I'm sitting there and I guess I'm on so many Facebook groups and YouTubes, being a nerd, I check my phone pretty frequently. My kids get on me about it, but so, something pops up and I start reading and I realized that it was the specs for the, for the new Mini too. So, I kind of panicked a little bit and I said, man, I'm going to text Ron and see if he saw this. And I checked the Facebook page. I checked the YouTube. I pulled up, I think, Marcus's channel and nobody put anything. So I said, I don't really want to put this up. I said, Ron and Marcus would kill me if I put some fake information on here. So anyway, I put it up and then of course, I text Ron and Ron texted me right back. And within probably an hour, of course, everybody was kind of joining in. DeMarco was actually one of the first ones to join in on the conversation there on our Facebook page. And, he kind of went over the specs, but and of course later, actually Ron within probably 30 minutes sent me a video of the guy doing the unveiling, of the box. So it was kind of shocked to see all that, but it was kind of exciting too. So and I think that drone has a lot of features that we talked about, and I'm gonna let Ron and Marcus kind of go over that. But I appreciate it, and I'm just gonna sit back and watch.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. Those pictures, and the best picture of all was that side of the box picture, which I am going to attempt to get up the screen here. So, Marcus, carry the show while I fiddle around with buttons here.
Yeah, okay, very good. I'm actually looking at that picture that Johnny posted right now. So, we also got the video from the gentleman, Our Beatific World, and he is a friend of our friend Bill Thomas over at Drone Therapy, which is quite the coincidence. But he had a pretty good video of him purchasing the drone in at Best Buy.
And that video was, I first a couple people sent me the video, but Greg Pittman was the first one to send me the video of the guy purchased it at Best Buy. And here I got the specs up for the Mini, but I'm going to switch back to. This is the video right here. Can you guys see it?
Right, there it is.
Yeah, there's a video on YouTube. I don't see a link here, but we'll try to link it later. But that's the video Marcus is referring to that Greg Pittman sent me the link to.
I'm going to put that link up right now, Ron.
Yeah, I'm sure people have seen it, but it's pretty interesting. Yeah.
So I'm going to go back to move this to the specs of the Mini too. So we can confirm Occusync 2.0. We can confirm a 31-minute flight time, which is a minute longer than the Mini 1, and it weighs less than 249 grams. And in the pre-show, somebody pointed out that the first one said 249, didn't say less than.
Yeah, Ron, so I'm looking at the specs on the DJI website, and what it says exactly is, and we might be reading too much into this, but on the website for the original Mavic Mini, it says takeoff weight 249 grams. And now this thing says under 249 grams. Make that of whatever you want out of that. I don't,
Yeah. And we got a wind resistant level of 5, which I think we pretty much confirmed that the first one had the equivalent of a wind resistance of 4.
That's what it says on the website, and I can kind of put that into context. So they measure it in meters per second. So 8 meters per second, which is what the original Mini was rated at. That equates to about roughly a little short of 18 miles an hour. And this 10.5 meters per second that they're talking about on the side of the box here takes it up to about 23.5 miles an hour of wind resistance. So that's pretty.
A 5 mile per hour gain is quite significant, really.
Yeah. And
we have a 3-axis gimbal, which we had before. We had a 4K video, which we kind of thought was a given, because of the rumors that Frank Wang wanted a 4K, the cabinet camera wanted a 4K. But here's something new, guys: a panoramic mode, which we did not have before; quick shots, which we did have before, but we don't know if any are added. And then we have one tap videos, is called, which we think is tap to fly.
Yeah. So, but there's another thing that could be. So, Ron, we're going to have to see when we get the drone. But you know how on the OM4 gimbal, how they have those where it'll make a little movie for you automatically?
That could be this. Yep.
It could be. We don't know. Is it tap fly or is it And we all understand what anybody that's had DJI drones before knows what tap fly is, but one tap videos, obviously they're saying that different. So I have a feeling that is maybe completely different. It's might be just putting together a selfie type video for you.
Good point.
And we got 1 minute extra flight time, maybe.
1 minute.
That's a great point, Johnny. Yeah,
we're gonna need that with that Occusync too.
Yeah.
Well, and what we did find out from our inside reporter, who's going to join us for a minute, it looks like all the rumors pointed to November 5th release date, but it looks like it may be the 4th. And I'm going to bring in our on-the-go reporter. When he saw the Best Buy video today, where the guy went to his Best Buy and he got the drone and brought it home, our on-the-go reporter attempted to do the same thing. I want him to tell the story in his own words. So, with no further ado, we're bringing in the great Greg Pittman to join us. Hello, Greg.
Thank you for having me. Well, thanks for having me on the show tonight, guys. I appreciate it. Well, I seen the video this morning. I thought, well, what the heck? Let's go out and see if I can't get one. See if it's true. And sure enough, they had them there. Had 3 of them in the case. I got a guy to get me one out, and then abruptly got told that I couldn't leave the store with it.
How far did you get away from the case to the?
Oh, about 2 or 3 steps. It wasn't very far.
You have to know there was a store manager or somebody that saw that and just panicked. Said, "Oh my God, we can't let that go."
Yeah, they said you can't leave the store. You can pay for it. You can pick it up on the 4th, but you cannot leave the store with it.
And they definitely said the 4th.
He said the 4th. Yes.
Oh, that's good. Did you pay for it then? Because that would lock in your purchase.
I was kind of aggravated, so I didn't.
That's another question. What was the price on the drone?
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I was just trying to get out with it. I was going to put it on a credit card. You know.
You could have just walked around with it till the 4th, stayed in the store, Greg.
Yeah, I got pretty hungry, I bet.
That is such a great story. But I think one of the biggest pieces of news that you got was that they told you about the release date, which was going to be the 4th, right?
Right.
So that confirms that it's a day earlier than what we originally thought.
Yep.
Yeah. So that you got some great news for us really that you confirm that these drones are actually already in the Best Buy stores. We don't have to wait for them to get there. At least they're already in the stores. Should be in stock rows, but not in the counters. But they're in the stores, and that they're going to be coming out a day earlier than we thought. I mean, unless something changes. But I mean, obviously, Best Buy, they have their release date's more accurate than than anybody saying something on the internet.
Yeah, and the box is pretty small too. It wasn't very big.
Was it? Of course, folks out there, don't tell anybody. I have a Mavic Mini too. Also, whatever. I was able to sneak one out of the Best Buy stock room at my local store. But all kidding aside, was it bigger? Was it smaller than the Mavic Mini one box? Or
yes,
wow.
It was smaller. I got the Fly More combo with my Mavic Mini, so.
Oh yeah. That
was a pretty big box.
Now, on the box you held in your hand, did it picture the new Mavic Air 2 style controller?
Yes.
Okay, so we can confirm that for sure.
Right.
Too, as with the Air 2 style controller. So, Greg,
what that guy showed in his video was
you've really confirmed a lot of news stories.
Hey, also I want to confirm here, Bill Thomas posted in here, Coast to Coast Drones, that Manuel, the guy that made that video, he paid $5.99 for his Fly More combo, so we can confirm that price. And then Bill is also saying that you may wish you'd have locked that down, Greg, because Bill is saying that there's only 3 per store, so it will be like Black Friday. If you really want one first thing, I'd be camping out at Best Buy first thing. Actually, you might even stop in and see if you can prepay for it. That'd be just say, hey.
Well, I'm gonna go to another one tomorrow and try again.
Right. Yeah. There you go. And Lawrence pointed out in the chat, he said even if you get one now, it can't fly until the release date, and that's what the guy in the Best Buy video ran across.
Hey, so speaking of that, I was thinking about that. What if because the original Mini, you can fly it without the app. It'll take off and you can fly it around. Now it's limited, it's range bound. It'll only fly so far. I wonder if you get that new one, if you could do it.
Yeah, Greg and I talked about that today on the phone, and I can't remember. Maybe you can't do that until on the first flight. On the first flight, you may have to activate
unlock it.
Or and stuff like that. That may work after you've activated it.
Probably have to register it, first.
Yeah.
Hey, that could be.
We have a Mavic Mini expert join the panel here. He's maybe the first guy in Florida last winter that had the Mini, and he flew it all over Palm Beach. He practically brought the Mini to South Florida. So we want to bring him in and get his reaction to all this news that happened today. So with no further ado, from the great state of New York, Captain Ray Kelly's in the house with us tonight. Ray, how are you doing?
Hey, Ron, Marcus.
Hey, Ray.
Johnny, Greg. I tell you, this is a great show you guys have got going already. Huh? It's amazing because I wasn't going to get this Mavic Mini 2, but I'm going to get it tomorrow at my big Best Buy right here.
Yeah.
Hey, I want all big stores like Best Buy, they have what they call a customer counter at the beginning of the store. It's basically a camera that counts customers come in, and all stores want to do what they call conversion. They want to convert a certain amount of people walk in the door to buy something. I wonder if Best Buy, like tomorrow or like today and tomorrow, the people in the big office say, why is the customer thing so big? Why would we have twice as many customers come in the store or whatever?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing. This is all good news. I look at it as good news, great news, actually.
Ray, what are you most impressed by what we learned today from the specs of the box and all that?
Well, I think the Occusync, right? The Occusync is a big thing. That's the rumor.
So that's a good point.
It's not rumor anymore. We've seen it on the side. Greg saw it
right on the box, right?
Yeah, Greg's had it in his hand. It's on the side. It's not rumor anymore. Greg broke the story. He didn't get to keep it, but he had it in his hand.
Yeah, that's what I really think.
That's
a big benefit. Yeah. I mean, the 4K is nice too, and it just seems like it's going to be a great drone. There's no doubt DJI has hit another home run with this drone.
So,
Wow.
so here's another way to look
Compact too.
at this. Yeah. So we all know that we're going to get the final, or hopefully in December, at least know what the final rule is for remote ID, right? So it's pretty clear that DJI is putting a lot of work into these sub 249 gram drones so they can get underneath that regulation. It makes me think, I'm a little nervous. It makes me think that they may know something already that we don't. I applaud them for spending the R&D on the sub 249 gram drone. I sincerely hope that the remote ID rule doesn't make it tough for us to fly the bigger drones.
Well, my own opinion on remote ID is it's good for the FAA, law enforcement, okay, but the average citizen should not have access to that information.
Ray, that's exactly how I feel about it. I don't care if anybody from any of the authorities know. I have no problem with that. What I don't want is my next door neighbor to know, right?
Yeah, I agree with Captain Ray too. Police, military, other pilots and whatever. Yeah, see it all they want, but not not just regular people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'll even take that one little step further, and because here in Idaho, I'm very lucky to have a lot of Class G airspace to fly in. In fact, I very seldom do I ever fly in controlled airspace, just simply because I don't need to. There's so much Class G airspace. I would also say that does anybody really need to know when I'm flying in Class G airspace? Right?
No.
If it's controlled airspace, absolutely, I'm
Right.
all for that. But Class G, nobody needs to know what I'm doing.
Nope, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And it's going to cause a lot of confrontations with people if it is allowed to go to the public. It will, no doubt about it. There'll be people will be robbing people of their drones.
Marcus, I don't know. Last week I made a comment, or we talked about remote ID a little bit, I think. But why couldn't it be like flip flop, where the person who wants to see that information pay for it? Like on an app or something. I mean, not the police or so, but that way. But they still couldn't see the location.
Johnny, you make a great point. And we talked about that last week, and I'll go to what Ray said. If we as flyers, if we have to pay a monthly fee to an app such as Kitty Hawk or whatever,
right,
to broadcast a signal, why would the people on the other end? Why would it be free for them?
Right,
why would we have to pay to see it and use it, but other people can see it for free? So here's my thing: if Kitty Hawk would charge the general public a monthly fee of $5 a month to see it, well, then nobody's not nobody, but most people aren't going to pay the $5 a month to get the Kitty Hawk app if they don't have a drone or whatever. If they want to see who's flying their neighborhood, hardly anybody is going to pay that. So it probably won't be much of an issue if that's the case, but we don't know that.
Well, guys, we'll take it.
All the same. Your neighbors know that you fly, and my neighbors know that I fly, and I don't get any hassle. But you try to be respect. Marcus has a different. I'm right here in town, so. But yeah, most people. Hey, Johnny's got a drone up or so. But it is for the people to know where you're flying and know your location. Yeah, it could be very dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky too. I live in a town that's almost all Class G, and a lot like Ray. I fly a lot by the water, so I mean, I'm flying over the water, so nobody's really worried about me most of the time.
Right. Well, we, believe it or not, we have a law up here in Suffolk County that you're not allowed to fly on the beaches during the summer, from Memorial Day to September 15th. You cannot fly on the beaches.
Wow.
And it makes sense. There's a lot of people on the beaches.
Well, yeah, you're not supposed to fly over people. But
Right.
doesn't one rule? So that to me is like two rules that say the same thing. The FAA already tells us not to fly over people.
No, you're right. You're right, Mark.
Right.
Exactly.
to what Ray said, my town, it's a short town, Margate. We don't have any laws like that, but the next town over, Ventnor City, they have the same law that Ray has. You can't fly on the beach between Memorial Day and Labor Day, and the rest of the year there's no rules. And I have seen people fly on the beach. You can fly drones over beach on people, so I kind of understand why the rule there. But the rules really, it's the town law. But if you had the money and you had a lawyer or whatever, they could never convict you on it because you could bring somebody from the FAA in and they would say, well, you don't own that airspace up there.
That's it. The FAA rules the skies.
Here's how I could fly a Ventnor. I take off in my town, Margate. The Ventnor police aren't going to come across the border to Margate to get me. So I can fly over Ventnor as long as I don't take off from Ventnor. But I mean, I don't do that. I don't abuse.
Of course not. Yeah, you don't.
The funny thing is, I took video of the Ventnor boardwalk, fishing pier, which they rehabbed this summer, right? So I don't know if I think I took it before the season, but maybe afterwards. But somebody from the city of Ventnor contacted me and asked me if they could use that drone video on their website. So here, even though
that's good.
The city itself, they asked if they could use the illegal video on their website at that point.
Yeah.
I was so excited when I first got my Phantom 4 drone, and I brought it down to Florida, and I was so excited about flying down there in Jupiter. The water down there is blue, and I was just so excited. The first park I went to, there's a big sign going into the park, no drone flying. I was so disappointed. But I just went across the street and took off from there.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
At our condo in Orange Beach, Alabama, they don't want you flying over the beach. And you can't take off from the city of Orange Beach, but it says down further in the rule that you can take off from your private property. So I don't really know how to, that's like you're saying two separate things.
Well, so the way I would look at that, Johnny, is say you were close to the beach and you could knock on a homeowner's door and say, hey, can I take my drone off from your front yard?
Yeah, well, we own a condo there, so I can take off from my condo. But, then it says you can't fly over the beach, but the condo's on the beach. So I don't know. It's kind of, and most of the police there will tell you. I mean, I asked one guy, he said, no, you're not supposed to fly. And then one guy said, hey, just knock yourself out. Be careful. So I don't, it's kind of like remote ID. How's that going to be enforced? The police, I know Ray's an police officer. So it's going to be really hard to enforce that. And even, I don't know, how the police would even know that sometimes,
Well, yeah. Common sense rules the day, and where it's important is when we see it all the time, these idiots that fly over sports stadiums and like the guy in Las Vegas that was flying on the strip in Las Vegas and his drone went over the airport and all that kind of stuff. I mean, come on, if people would just use a little common sense, it'd be, well, I guess that applies to everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But back to what Ray was saying earlier, don't fly over people in a tourist area, like at the beach or something like that. Like I fly at the beach all the time, but guess what? I go down there early in the morning before anybody's there. Right. Or go down around sunset when they've all left for the day. When I fly over the beach, there's nobody there but the dog walkers and the surfers.
And that's the best time to do it. Yep.
I don't think we want to stray too far off of this Mini 2 subject. I know remote ID is important, and I'm the one that kind of started that by talking about that 249 gram limit. But I think some of our chat here would like to hear more of our speculation about that thing. And with Occusync 2, I think that is an 8-kilometer range, isn't it, Ron?
I believe so, or I
heard 10.
Yeah, I think it's 10.
It could be 10. So more importantly, what that does for us is I had my Mini out on the Boise River the other day, and I was shooting through the trees, right? So it really limited my range with that Wi-Fi. Occusync, that will really help. You'll be able to I don't know if any of you guys are interested in flying a drone 10 kilometers. I know I'm not.
Lauren just said in the chat 10 kilometers. Yeah.
Right. But we all want better FPV signal in the short range around objects, like you said, trees and whatever, hills, maybe structures in our area. So no, I mean, well, I'll throw it to anybody in the panel. I mean, we got almost everything we wanted in this drone. Is there anything that we know that they were left out? Does any?
Well, the thing that everybody's been asking for, and I'm not exactly sure why, because I'm not sure I see the value in it in a drone that doesn't have any kind of obstacle avoidance. But a lot of people asked for tracking. And I would think that if it had tracking, it would have been on the side of that box. Personally, in a little drone like that, I don't see it as a big deal, but I do know it was important to a lot of people.
Might be something they'll add later.
Possible. I think it also comes down to, well, gosh, how big of a processor can you put in that little drone? And if you put a more powerful processor, it generates more heat, and then you've got to figure out how to cool it and all that. So I'm sure it's probably a lot of compromises that they make to make that thing work.
I think they got that tracking working on the Leachy program pretty good now, don't they? Oh,
do they? I've never tried it.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing, Greg. That some of the stuff works in the Leachy beta. So I don't know. Those guys over at Leachy, they must be great programmers.
Yeah, I've got the app, but I just I've used it once. I'm not real comfortable using it. I'd rather use the DJI app.
Does it say anything about a charging, the 3 battery charger type, or Marcus, did you see anything?
In that video, he showed it, and it looks very similar to the one on the regular Mini. Hey, I got some breaking news. I have a controller for the Mini 2 right now. It's the smart controller.
Yeah.
At least I'm hoping, guys. I'm hoping.
Oh, sure it will.
It's going to work with an update.
Sam Burns brings that up in the chat. He says now, or we have to wait for the update. So we don't have confirmation on work out of the box, but and we always talk about the smart controller here, and not that many Mavic owners really have the smart controller. So I hate to talk about it too long, but it always comes up, and he's asking Lauren in here whether it will. So I mean, what do you think, Marcus? Well, work with the smart controller out of the box.
Not out of the box, because Lauren makes the point that the Fly app is on there, but the Mini is not. So, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe some people that are more clever than us that can do a little programming on their own might be able to make it work. But
Marcus, what are really the big benefits of that smart controller?
Well, I can tell you what it is for me. Ray, it's the screen, because it is 1,000 nits brightness, and it stays at that level.
Okay.
It's got a bunch of fans in it, so even on a blistering hot day, you'll get that bright screen, and you can see it in the bright sunshine. That to me is the thing that makes it worth it for me.
Yeah, then you have me hop out, Ray. So you go down there to Florida in the middle of the day with the sun beating down on you, and you can actually still see that screen. You won't have to find shade.
That's why I got the Note 20.
Right.
Oh, there's the Note 20. So, Greg, that's interesting. You don't have any problems with the Note 20 overheating or and dimming the screen?
No, I haven't yet. I'd say yet, but I haven't flown it out in real hot temperature either.
Yeah.
But it does produce 1,600 nits. So what I have used it's been fine. I can see it fine. And
it's 1,600 nits. No kidding. Wow.
Yeah. I wanted something that was universal to all my drones, and the controller wouldn't be. So I chose to put my money on the Note.
Yeah.
That's Ron, great. As I told you, I'm looking forward to getting my new iPad Mini 5 to use with these drones.
That works great too.
And it'll be even handier because it'll fit. We have to get adapter for all, but if it's real nice in a new controller with the adapter.
Right.
So Lauren is making another point in the chat. So the other advantage to the smart controller is that carrying around multiple drones, you would only need to carry one controller. The other thing that I'll say is speed of deployment too, because you're not having to hook a phone up to it or anything. It is amazing. You just take it out, you turn it on, and boom, you're up in the air.
The only convenience, but only if you already have it bound to the Mini 2. If you have it bound to another drone, then now you've slowed yourself down.
Got to figure that out. I know that's something that I keep hearing tricks that people use to do that, to switch between drones, Ron, so that you don't have to bind to the new drone every time. But I never did figure that. I haven't figured that out yet.
People in the chat are talking about obstacle avoidance. As far as we know, this has no obstacle avoidance.
It's not going to have. No. And
Right,
the thing is, on a drone like that, I don't really care either. I like obstacle avoidance, but on that little guy, I just don't see it as that big of a deal.
Yeah, I don't think that's a big point to
Yeah.
I'm a very conservative flyer, so I don't really take too many chances going close to things.
I'm pretty conservative flyer too. I rarely ever need the obstacle avoidance.
Well, what I like it is obviously, Ron, with the Skydio 2, using it to track things, it's fun to see how that works. But
good point. And I just like it as that when you return to home, I like it as a safety net that when it's coming back, if you lose sight of it for a second, you can trust that the obstacle avoidance will miss a building or a tree or something. Yeah.
So, Ron, you're reminding me of a story. Our friend up in Canada, Gorilla Man, when he first got his Mini, that's exactly what happened to him. He had his return to home hit set real high, and he was flying down this river, and he went out of range, and it went into RTH. Hey, no problem, right? It's going to come back. There was one tree. One lousy tree that was real high, and of course that was right between him and the drone, and
That's all it takes.
Yeah, and he, I can't remember. I think he had refresh. Anyway, he searched for a long time, but he did finally find the drone, and he was able to send it in and get it refreshed. But
well, thank God he had the refresh.
Yeah,
that's right.
Hey, Marcus, we talked a little bit before the show. What do you think? We talked about the Best Buy. Just think how many drones. Is that going to make them sell more drones, or are they going to sell those 3 that they have real quick and then they'll be out? And it'll help DJI get more orders from them, or did they just boost their stock by by making that big mistake?
Yeah. Well, listen, I think it was probably a good move because, just like you said, we're all going to go to Best Buy, right? But to your point, if each store only has 3, well, those will be gone like that, and then how long do they get until they get replenished?
Well, maybe they just have 3 that set out. They got worn in the back.
Well, I'm just going by what Bill Thomas said at Coast to Coast Drones. That each store was 3, but like you said, who wrote
it? And I don't know anything about that at all. But if I'm the CEO of Best Buy, and DJI tells me, well, we're releasing the new Mini on the 4th, and we're only going to give you 3 per store until Black Friday, I'm kind of not agreeing to that. If I'm the CEO of Best Buy, I'm telling them, hey, well then don't give me any of them until Black Friday. I'm not going to put 3 out, and because that's going to be more of a pain with the customers than it's worth. Your employees will spend all day trying to explain to employees why you don't have any more Mini 2s in the store. So that's just counterproductive to a store, And
I'm sure they'll be on the website, online for Best Buy that same day, I guess.
I waited last year until Black Friday. No, they didn't go on sale. I waited till Cyber Monday. They didn't go on sale, and then I just ordered one. But I was just behind everybody. Took me a while, but I did get it 2 days before Christmas. So
to raise points,
Santa brought it.
has it gone for under $399? Well, we had an Amazon day where the Fly More kit went for $100 under, but has just the drone ever fallen below $399 at a major retailer?
Yeah, Costco. Didn't they have it for
$349 with 2 batteries?
Yeah.
It was a special deal. No Fly More, but it had an extra battery.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was a great deal.
I felt so bad because I just recommended my friend to buy a mini one, or the mini, and he bought one a month ago at Best Buy.
Yeah, he'll be okay.
He loves it. But he's going to be disappointed when this 2 comes out. Same. I sent one to my son 2 weeks ago. My cousin in North Carolina bought one 2 weeks ago. They're going to be very disappointed.
Oh, Ray, they gonna be getting on you.
Well, did they get it on that Amazon deal?
Yes. Well, my son and my cousin in North Carolina did, but not my friend Bill.
That's a great deal.
Full price.
Yeah, they still got a great deal, and if they're new users, it'll be good for them for a while until they outgrow it and figure out that they need Occusync.
I'll tell you, the Mini, to me, I love the Mavic Air 2. If I could only have one drone, I would probably say, okay, I want the Mavic Air 2. But the Mini, I love this little guy just simply because it's so easy to deploy, and it's so low key. You can take it to a park or something and take off, and nobody even pays any attention. They don't hear it. They don't see it. They don't, It's not.
It's so cute.
That's true.
Yeah.
To Marcus's point, I was flying a Mini someplace recently, and I thought somebody was going to say something to me, but I'm sure they looked over and said, "Oh, look, that guy's flying some little toy drone." They didn't realize that I was grabbing, it's some pretty good video. They said, "That guy's got a little toy over there. We'll leave him alone."
The thing about it, you can get it up so quick in the air. A couple minutes.
Easy to deploy. That's very right. And this little case, you got 90 minutes of flight time inside there. I mean, that's pretty.
Yeah, you almost get tired of flying it. I mean, it's definitely
easy to pack away too.
Yeah, Johnny, you were talking about on your motorcycle. I'm the same way. I just throw it in the back of my bike. You don't even know it's there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's exactly what my son said, Marcus. He puts it right on his bike. He loves it.
Yeah. I keep it in my truck. Even every day, just in case, you run across something, you never know. I mean, it's just so easy to get up.
Yeah. Totally agree.
So who in his panels going to get the Mini 2?
Oh, come on. Every one of us. Come on, Ron.
I'm serious. I'm going to go out there tomorrow.
Hey, one of us 5 actually had one in their hands and gave it back.
Yeah.
Not willingly.
and of course, I have my Mini 2 also.
That's a good one, Ron.
Is that a beta? Is that a beta Mini 2?
I guess you could call it that. It's DNA. Don't tell anybody about it, Johnny.
I won't. Don't worry. I'm not releasing any more news.
I've got the battery from well, you can't see that. That's got a 2 on there.
I see it. Yes, it's
Hey, John.
That's the Mavic Mini Mark II.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Johnny, I'll wake up tomorrow and you'll be sending me a video of somebody actually flying a Mini to 20,000 feet out.
Well, I don't know. He's going to have to know how to activate it and, get the app. So, yeah, that's going to be a little bit more detail. I'm like Lauren. I think, you might could get it, but you're not going to be able to fly until the 4th or maybe the 5th, whenever that day is. But it'd be better to have it in your hands.
That poor guy that got in an early Best Buy, even though he got out ahead of everybody, he really won't get a flight in until that date, the 5th or whatever. And by that time, all the big YouTube channels don't have their videos up.
What's funny? He really didn't seem that excited. I mean, it's like
he's a drone guy, Johnny. I think he's just a guy that stumbled in there
he actually said he didn't know he was making a Mini 2.
Yeah. We talked about this in the pre-show a little bit. I just think it's so cool that it's just some guy that scooped all the big drone news channels. You know,
Absolutely.
he got the scoop way ahead of all.
One for the little guys. Hey,
Yeah,
that's what makes
The big thing is
Kudos to him.
yeah.
the big channels all have it, but they're under DNA, so they can't say anything.
That's fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he beat him to the punch. That's you know, man, it's incredible because hey, this community, you know, it's like it's you know, you have all the big channels, and of course, you know, have the bells and the whistles and all, but I think everybody here and you know, and most people in the chat, I think we're all, you know, we just do it because we love it. So
Precisely.
Exactly.
I just want to say hello to Drone Psych. He came in on my invitation, so I'm glad he's here.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Thanks for coming.
You're bringing people in with you. Well, Ray, that check will be in the mail soon. Now we don't get up to me too much, but is it true, Ray? You've been out there flying with Drone Bum a few times this summer.
Yeah, I tell you, me and Paulie, we have a good time when we go flying, and we got another one planned. We have another one planned for Sunday or Monday, and
wow,
yeah, I think you guys will like it. I'm not going to give it away, but we're going to New York City. Put it that way.
I got to meet Paul at Spin Up last year. Mark's I did.
Yeah, we got to meet him. Yeah, he's a great guy.
He is, and he's a good drone pilot. Now he's into that FPV too, and he's really accomplished. He's got that down. He really flies the FPV drones great.
Well, maybe he could train me.
Well, I tell you, I'm looking forward to meeting him again this coming week.
Well, you tell we were asking about him over here at DroneNation.
I will, definitely. I should have invited him tonight. I should have told him.
Poor guy. He's always kind of, we've had him on shows before, but he's always kind of sleepy this time of night. He's
a hard worker. Paul is a hard worker.
Did you get to meet what's his buddy's name? His sidekick, I'll call him.
Brian,
right.
Yeah, Brian. Yep. He's a nice kid too. I should say.
Oh well, we got the Canadian Drone Hub. We got the Canadian Drone Hub in here tonight.
Hey, Roger.
Roger's with us. Yeah, you bring everybody in, right?
Well, I see DeMarco was getting rid of a couple of drones there to make room for the new stock coming in.
Oh, DeMarco's go ahead, Ray.
I'm looking forward to going down to Florida, and I want to give an open invitation to all of you to come down, and we'll get together down in Florida.
and Ray,
idea.
And where you fly, Ray, like a couple, actually before I had a drone, like a couple years before I had a drone, I stayed at like Palm Spring, Palm something, like not far from you were. When you fly, I know most of that area because we rented a boat and boated around there too, whatever. Palm Shores, that sound right? Oops, we lost Ray. He was having a bad connection.
I think Ray's on a cell phone, actually.
I think Ray left for Florida on short notice. I don't blame him though. Weather's getting a little chilly here. Hey, is it Greg? Is it true you had some snow today already?
Yeah, I had a couple inches. It'll probably be gone tomorrow.
For all the folks out there, where are you located, Greg?
Kansas. I'm in Kansas City.
Around Kansas City. Okay.
Yeah.
Home of the Super Bowl champion Chiefs.
Yep. Yeah, they're across the state line. They're in Missouri, actually, but we claim them.
Okay. Ray's back. Ray, thanks for coming back. Probably our technical issues over here.
No, that's my end. That's no doubt about it.
I think it was DJI. You were giving out too much information on that Mini, and they pushed you right off.
Hey, so Ron, I don't want this show to be over with before you give us a little bit of a scoop. I know that you just added a new drone to your fleet, and I don't expect you to spill all the beans, but can you tell us just a little something about it?
You mean the orange drone?
That's it.
Well, it's a
love that color.
Mavic Mini, huh? Yeah, this is the Evo 2 Pro, which is not new. The Evo was Marcus actually got to hold it at CES last year, right?
Yeah.
So,
I got to mess around with it.
So it was much delayed. It was announced at CES in January. It didn't really start arriving until April, and it really wasn't. Like you really couldn't just go to Best Buy and get one, I think, until almost June. So I've had my eye on it for a while, and it's kind of comparable to the Mavic 2 Pro. I haven't had it long enough to tell you if it's as good as the Mavic 2 Pro. It's good.
The Mini is bigger.
This is 200. It's supposed to be 250 grams.
Yeah.
No, this is quite a substantial drone. It weighs a lot. It's substantially heavier than the Mavic 2 Pro, but and it's a take in the wind. It really sits in the wind well. Again, I put a few videos out. I got a big update just at the end of this week, but so far I like it. I mean, I'm not even close to giving you a complete review. Camera's good. Is it better than Mavic 2 Pro? In some instances it is. In some instances, it's not. So it's a lot to go through on it, but it's a nice drone.
How's the accurate landing, Ron?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Marcus. I just posted a video today. They just added. They can't call it precision landing, but they just added accurate landing in a firmware update that came out on Friday. And my first and only try at accurate landing, it came down. It was off. But you can see at the last minute, it adjusted, maybe like almost 6 feet or more over to the pad, and it landed right in the middle of the inner circle of the pad. I haven't had a drone land that close to the middle of the pad. Now, that was one try. In the next one, it may land in the sand, but on the first one, it was accurate. Could be. And before that, I mean, it would land, somewhere around the pad. It was accurate enough, but the part of the trick of landing right in the center of your landing pad, like the DJI drones, this definitely has it now.
And that was a great reverse droney that you did too on that takeoff.
And you saw who I dedicated it to, didn't you?
Yes,
Captain
yeah,
Ray?
you gave
That was
Marcus all credit.
Style, up and out.
Hey, I was just looking at that cool hat he was wearing.
Oh yeah. Don't forget me, Marcus. That's $5 every time I put that hat on the video, right? We got to make our money somewhere around here until we get signed on. Till we get sponsored like the big channels.
Yeah. Get that big sponsorship,
and then we can finally get Johnny that shrimp in the VIP lounge. He's been waiting for.
I'm gonna ship some shrimp from Louisiana up to that VIP room. That's what I'm gonna have to do.
Yeah, well, you got some good shrimp down there too, John.
I was gonna say when I visit Captain Ray, I'm gonna seafood it all. But and what I love in Ray, I'm a fish man too. I love the flounder down there.
Oh yeah, it's good. You know what I was looking at today?
Somebody's asking for one of y'all t-shirts in the chat there. They want some Mid-Valley t-shirt, Marcus. They want your shirt.
Who said that?
James Carter.
Oh yeah, well, Mid-Valley Drones, Stephen Fox, thank you. He sent Ron and I these shirts, and you know what? This is a good shirt. And let me I'm going to turn around here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but
oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, he did a great, and it's a pretty high quality shirt too. It's got a pocket, it's pretty cool. So thank you, Stephen, for sending those to us.
It's a nice shirt. Ray, you have a bit of delay going on, so that's why we kind of cut you off, because you got some kind of a delay. You were starting to say something about Florida and the fish.
No, I started to say something to Johnny about getting down to New Orleans. I found some nice cruises out of New Orleans. So if this COVID thing dies down, I might be going down there, take a cruise, and have some of that good shrimp.
I'm only about 35 miles from New Orleans, so hey.
And I'm all for getting down to Florida or Louisiana, like you said, get this COVID situated or get a whatever vaccine, something like that.
We got one more hurricane coming through. Looks like it's going to hit here Wednesday morning. So it's actually a Category 1. I'm just checking the weather. It looks like it's probably maybe 30 miles to the east of where I live. So I'm hoping I'm not saying I'm hoping it goes anywhere. I just hope it don't come here. So
will it miss your condo in Alabama?
Well, if I push it to the east a little bit, that's right where it's going. So I at this point I think it's our 7th time in a cone. So hey, it is what it is.
You've had a bad year.
Yeah. I wish you and all the people of Louisiana the best of luck on this hurricane. I hope it's the last one of the season for you people.
Yeah. We're gonna have a Christmas hurricane probably. I guarantee we'll have snow this year in Louisiana. So, but
if it does come through, I hope it blows a lot of COVID out of there.
Yeah, I know. If you look out of Texas right now, I think in Amarillo it's 19 degrees. So they got a cold front coming down.
Cold.
So yeah, so it's very, it's like coming down this way. So we hope we can push that storm. But at this point, it's been so many storms, and every cone looks like it's coming like straight up I-55.
We talk about registering our drones. I had to go register my new Chevy Tahoe, right? So of course, with COVID and all that, the line at the DMV is insane. So it goes out the door. Well, of course, I went down there today, the coldest flipping day of the year, standing out in 25-degree weather for 3 hours to register
my Lord.
Yeah.
On a good day, the DMV is not too good. So
what I'll say, Idaho, typically they're pretty good here. We got a pretty efficient state government, but yeah, this was not that.
Well, you know what they did here? They went private, so you pay a little bit more, but you don't have to wait in line.
Oh, there you go.
Right. Yeah, they take care of it right at the dealer in Florida too. Yep.
Yeah.
That's how it should be. Why can't it be like that? Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, lots of luck with that. It's a good-looking vehicle, Marcus. Really is.
Yeah, no, thank you. It's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, that kind of stuff always is. And we went up north in northern Idaho, a little town called Kellogg, Idaho. It's just a little bitty town up there that they kind of, when the mines kind of dried up, that dealership had to figure out a way to make a living. And so they did all this mass marketing. They sell nationwide. The guy was telling me they sell 1,300 cars a month. And it's a town of maybe 1,500 people, something like that. It's right just east of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, if you've ever heard of that. But yeah.
Sam Burns, yes, it's 6K. He's asked a question about the Evo too. So yeah.
Did you see what happened with Brian Singleton with his Evo?
Yeah, his Anafi drone.
Oh,
that was really weird.
Okay.
Yeah,
we have seen. We hope to get. We just had Brian on last week. So this happened. I mean, right after a couple of days of the show. Hope to get him back on again. The Anafi. I don't know if it got a firmware update, but it got an app update just recently. I haven't done the update yet, but he kind of thinks it was.
It actually had a battery update, I believe, instead of.
That's his problem. The battery.
Well, so I've never seen anything close to that. I know, Greg, you fly one, and Ron flies one. And that's right, Johnny. You have one too.
Got one.
Yeah, I did the battery update the other day, and I flew it twice, and but I mean,
Did it fly kind of funny?
Huh?
Did it fly kind of funny?
No, it didn't. I mean, I didn't notice anything. I went through 2 batteries, and I mean, I didn't really go out really far or anything, but I didn't see anything different. That I noticed.
Well, that was weird when you looked at that flight of Brian's. I mean, all of a sudden it just came up that battery error. That thing was going to land no matter what. There was nothing he could do.
Right.
No, that's got to be hard to watch. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't think
I felt so bad for him.
Calmly.
Huh?
I don't think I could have took it so calmly. I think I would.
Yeah, that's almost
I'd have been
having a
some
Mavic
words.
in your hand, and they take it back.
Yeah. At least.
Yeah, but that was a battery update. So yeah, and he definitely had a problem. I don't know. Maybe he ought to contact the Nafi and maybe I don't know. Parrot
maybe they'll do good by him. Yep.
Yeah,
that's what I told him.
It doesn't hurt to ask. I mean,
it's worth a try.
yeah, absolutely.
the thing about Parrot now is they actually stated that they're getting out of the consumer drone business.
Right.
So who knows? But
and that's an older drone, but they may, who knows?
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
But I think it got the update because it's basically still most of the same drone as the enterprise drone they make now. So I'm sure most of the software is still kind of compatible. So I guess the Anafi will still keep getting updates until they completely remake the enterprise version of the drone.
But the camera on that thing is, the pictures from that drone are all really incredible.
yeah.
And 21 megapixel stills on that. That's better than the Mavic 2 Pro. And
it does take some beautiful pictures. So
yeah.
So does everybody think the DJI event is going to be at night or during the day?
That's a good question, Ray.
We do.
People have been speculating that it will be at night because it went well for the Mavic Air 2 launch back in April, but we don't know. I'm putting it at 50-50, Ray.
Right.
Well, so the thing is, Best Buy did tell Greg that it'll be available on the 4th. So I would be interested to know if you walked into a Best Buy first thing the morning of the 4th, if you could buy it or not. I wonder.
I'm thinking about trying that.
Oh,
I want to be there.
I might even go in there before and just try and pre-buy it, right?
Well, Greg, didn't they tell you you could pay for it or you couldn't pay for it?
They told me I could pay for it.
Oh, okay.
I could pay for it, but I couldn't leave until 4th.
I have a
take your money and hold it.
Yeah. I have a feeling what they would have done is because they can't show a sale in the register that they would have sold Greg a gift card for the price of the drone, and then he would just come back and give him that gift card on that day, and then they'd run it to the register and hand the drone.
Greg, look, go back and buy all 3 and then sell them outside the door.
There you go. Put them on eBay for twice the price.
There you go.
Greg, I give you so much credit for doing that. I should have thought to do that today.
Well, I figured why not? If he can go in there and get one, maybe it'd happen here too.
Yeah.
So
now that
almost did.
It almost did.
Almost did.
That other guy's video was up early this morning, so he must have did it yesterday, right?
Yeah. Hey, I noticed that Mike Kenny said something that I think is important here. He said the release day is November 4th, so we should be seeing the countdown clock anytime. Because you know how DJI puts up that countdown clock? So he's right. We should see that, I would think, right?
So we'll look for the clock. Anybody out in the chat? Have they seen anything they don't like about the Mini 2? Are there any complaint on the specs we've seen so far? What we know most of the big stuff for sure. What we don't know is some of the little things.
I totally agree.
Like we don't know if the intelligent flight modes will be any different or there'll be any more. And I guess that's a big deal for some people, but it's not a big deal for most.
Right.
I don't use them that often myself.
Right.
Well, if you
who's getting a new drone in the chat, put it up there if you all. I think everybody here on the panel pretty well said they're getting it. So hey, let's see from the chat of everybody's.
I see the comment from DeMarco here. I bet you DeMarco's getting one.
Yeah, he said he was. Yeah.
Just don't tell his wife, guys.
I think Bill Thomas said he's actually getting one.
I think Bill Thomas said his wife is getting one.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Yeah, Michael Wright says he is for sure.
Mike Wright's getting one.
Yeah,
we could count on Mike Wright.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting 2. Wow.
Yeah.
Gotta have a backup.
Yeah. And
maybe he means 2 here. Okay.
Yeah, Mini 2. Yeah, and of course Mike Kenny says with Occusync he'll get one. So.
Hey, Mid Valley's undecided. Hey, Mid Valley, why are you undecided? What does this drone have that would that would make you get it.
And Lauren is saying getting, I don't know what that means, but
with the wink, wink. Hey,
yeah, I hear you.
Now,
Lauren, go ahead. It's already been.
As Philly Mike says, you're under DNA.
Yeah.
DNA. Remember, folks out there, don't tell anybody about my Mini 2. DNA.
Ron, you may get on the Ken Herron show with that box there.
Oh, yeah. I hear the phone ringing now, Johnny. My age is taking the call right now.
We'll get you on there.
Eric Rose is saying too. He's in the
Bahamas.
Yeah.
Well, I think the drone is going to sell great. It's a great time of year. There's a lot happening with the remote ID that they're going to push people toward that drone. Being smaller. So I think it's just a great time. Like Morgan's always kind of does the drones, affordable drones. So yeah, it's going to make, it's going to be a great price and a great drone. And DJI doesn't have a problem selling drones. And whether this was a prank, a trick, or an ad campaign, whatever it was, it's going to sell out the box anyway.
It's drawn into. Hey, great point, John, about the affordable drones. Now, Marcus, if this Mini 2 enters the affordable drone market at the price point we think for $449 or whatever, how would you recommend it against the other budget drones you cover, such as the FIMI X8 and the Hubsan Xeno 2? Where would you how would you rank this from what we know of the specs against those two drones?
Well, particularly, of the specs, listen, we know that it's going to have better video, right? I mean, it is.
Yeah, the Mini 1 has better video.
Yeah, the Mini 1 has better video. Now, the key is going to be how it can handle wind and so forth. And they say that it's going to be better. So if it is, it does make it pretty tough to justify buying a FIMI or a Xeno 2. I mean, the only...
Plus, you don't have to register it.
And yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. That's another thing. The flight controls are so much better. The quality is so much better. Everything just works on it. You guys have seen some of my videos, all the hoops you jump through on some of those other drones. It's DJI just works. As Sam Burns is saying.
Fly Zone's going to get one. Fly Zone, he's definitely getting one.
Yeah.
Fly Zone's getting one. Okay, well, they shout out to him and his brother. They got their channel over there, and they kind of do reviews and stuff. So yeah, they'll need to get that in. Hey, we got Stephen Ewing out here. I just want everybody to send prayers out for Stephen. I know he hasn't been feeling that well lately. I mean, I don't want to reveal all his medical situation, but he hasn't been doing too well. So if anybody would send out prayers and best wishes to Stephen Ewing over in Ireland, it would be much appreciated.
Get well soon, Stephen.
Get well.
Get well.
God bless.
He's a nice guy. He also had his Mavic Air 2 stolen out of his car. Unfortunately, while he was in the hospital. So,
yeah, he's had a tough time of it.
Yeah.
Marcus, I think I know the answer to this question, but if you had to keep the FIMI or the Xeno 2, I mean, I know what you're going to say, but go ahead and say it.
Well, this is interesting. So, you know what? A month or two ago, I would have said hands down I would keep the FIMI. But if I had to do it today, I'd keep the Xeno 2.
Because of the recent updates?
Yeah, the Xeno 2 has been flying great. I think
it has, actually. Yeah.
I think it has so I need to qualify this. I think it has a better camera as long as you're not flying into the sun and you get all that lens flare.
Yeah.
But I do think it's a better camera. I think it flies better. I think everything works on it better. All of the issues with the FIMI is the intelligent flight modes can be a little wonky. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
I tell you now, and the Xeno flies.
And the Xeno flies, and all of the things that it has in the app, they all work, and they all work well. So
it has done great recently. I will say, from my first time trying to land that thing, that was very memorable. But ever since then, it's really I like it. I like the speed of it. It's very it's fun to. It's kind of like the Corvette of the drones there,
It's
you know.
a sporty flyer, isn't it? It is. I totally agree with your assessment there, Johnny. It's a sporty flyer. Now, when I think about, I just was thinking about this today. You know, so I've got some of these drones like those Femis and that Xeno 2. Okay, if I've got this Mini 2 and I've got the Mavic Air 2 and I have the Skydio 2, you know, at what point am I going to be flying those other drones when you have other things that just work so much better? It kind of makes me wonder, you know, why I've still got those drones.
There was a video today of the Skydio 2 tracking a Tesla. Was that a new video or did I?
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it was somebody had it up today. It was pretty interesting.
Well,
Was it going fast? Real
Was
fast?
it tracking your Tesla, Johnny?
You what?
Was it tracking your Tesla?
No, I actually no. I have a Tesla golf cart, you know. So.
yeah. So
But,
Sam Burns has had pretty good luck with his Femi. And so Ron always makes a point. Sam Burns has worked very well. Mine, not so well. Particularly the camera on mine, I've had issues with. But Ron makes the point all the time with some of those drones is they can vary so much one from the other. You can get a good one and I can get a not so good one. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, we're at least we're buying the Mini. Well, we'll say the Mini 2 now. At least you know that, you know, you're if Marcus and I both buy a Mini 2 and we live on different sides of the country, our Mini 2s are probably going to fly exactly the same or whatever. Where Marcus and I both have the Xeno 2, and my Xeno 2 was flying completely different than his for a long time.
Yeah, but it's interesting what Sam Burns is saying about he tracked his wife's car over a mile and it worked great.
Yeah.
And I've struggled with tracking on that.
Sam received the best Femi 8 2020 that ever came off the line there in what city in China where they make all this
Shenzhen.
Shenzhen, yeah.
We got the 349 version or whatever it was.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Sam got the one that cost $100.
We got the $100 off.
Yeah. No doubt about it. But now the Skydio 2, when you talk about tracking, I don't know if you saw, Johnny, the one where I put the beacon on the back of an RC car and I had it tracking. I mean, it was just phenomenal. I was almost watching the drone more than I was watching the car because it's zipping around those trees and getting all the different angles. It was amazing.
If you think about the drone delivery, and a lot of people, you know, says it may not work and may work, but when you see the Skydio, you can almost tell that it's possible that it might work.
Yeah.
Right. And the cool thing about that Skydio that always just warms my heart, American designed, American built, American manufactured, you know.
Yeah.
Like the old days.
Yeah. And the other thing that I will say about that, at a competitive price too. When they talk about how we can't be competitive, well, I don't know, Skydio did it, didn't they?
Sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a great drone.
This guy here, next to the Skydio, I think this one has the best obstacle avoidance I've ever seen. This thing, the sensors are all over the place, and I was randomly walking around, just had it follow me one day, and it was fine. It moved itself around anything, a sign, a wall, a tree. It did great.
So, guys, if we all get the Mini 2, what are you gonna do with your Minis? Are you gonna just hang on to them? I know y'all want to compare. So, eventually, will you sell them, or will you just keep them, collect it, or?
Great question, Johnny. I will
collect this item.
I know I sold my
Spark. Be worth a lot of money someday.
I sold my Spark, and I kind of wish I didn't sell my Spark, but
I will keep mine so I can test it against the Mini 2. But I eventually will let it go, just for the fact that I get too many drones around here. I've got to keep moving things along.
And so I run into the same issue, Ron. But the other thing is, if I got a nephew or something that looks for a drone, then, hey.
Yeah, that's what I think. I'd love to get my granddaughter into that, and that'd be a great starter drone.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Captain Ray's bringing in an old school drone for us. Is that a
Yeah, this is my first one
X5
way
drone?
back when.
A Striker.
A Striker spy drone.
Oh, that's the spy drone you always hear about in the news thing. The drone that's peeking in the windows.
That's what's getting us a remote ID right there, Ray.
Yeah.
I know. I was gonna sell it, and I just couldn't part with it.
Yeah, most people here said they keeping their minis. A few on the chat. So yeah, and you know, it's a great drone to keep. That's for sure. I wish the batteries were the same, but hey, you know, sometimes I I went to charge my Femi, and I think I was trying to plug it into the Xeno charger, and it's like, oh my God, I got chargers and batteries everywhere.
Hey, so
What I like about the original Mini is you can leave the battery charged up and you're ready to go at it.
Right. No, that's
there.
yeah, because they're
getting there. That's the fastest drone to ever to get up.
well, because they're lithium ion batteries too. You don't have to worry about leaving them charged. And
Right.
and I'm going to kind of call you on one, Johnny. You know, you wish the batteries were the same, but hey, 3 batteries in this guy, I don't know. It's all I ever.
Oh no, yeah, it's almost You don't listen. You probably get tired. 90 minutes in the air is a lot of time.
It is.
Yeah,
You're so focused.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need any more than that.
And who wants 90 minutes of video to edit?
Yeah, right. Well,
The more video you shoot, the harder the editing is.
Exactly right.
Well, if I was flying 90 minutes, my camera is not going to be running most of the time.
my iPhone would burn up from 90 minutes probably.
We'll get you a nice shady spot to sit in, Johnny, when you're doing that 90 minutes of flight.
Yeah, but hey, no, that's the Mini though. It is an incredible drone, and I think it's like the 2 is it's going to be off the chart. You know.
Hey, so Mike Kenny is asking here in the chat: are they Lion or lipo? And I didn't notice from the pictures. Did you guys happen to notice?
I didn't see the details.
I don't think it's well.
Hold on.
You could just ask Lauren, but he's off.
Yeah, and I don't see anything on that.
And on the side of the box, it doesn't say.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
It doesn't say anything about what type of batteries.
Yeah.
So we don't know if they're going to be the same.
Somebody, Jed Martin says they're lipo, so I don't know.
I think I heard that they are lipo.
Okay.
Well, that kind of makes this guy worth hanging on to then.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I like about it is I can leave those batteries charged and not worry about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. Because that's one thing about the Parrot, you know, the Parrot just goes like dead and you have to like bring it back to life to fly, you know, you have to plug it in for a few minutes and, you know, you're not going to get it up real quick for that, you know, but the Mini, it's great to just keep anywhere and put up in a second.
And with that new battery update, they can go roll dead on that thing even when you're over water, right, Johnny?
Well, I'm not going to be flying over water, but I'd hate to lose it. You know, I'd hate to really lose it. But they definitely had a battery update. So yeah, you know, I think
Johnny, the first couple of flights, I stay over nice flat land.
Yeah, not too high. I'm gonna fly at 20 feet.
No, don't get above any trees.
Run around under with a pillow.
How about has anybody seen that video with the girl who lost her drone on the island? A lot of YouTubers have been showing it.
I didn't see that.
An amazing rescue, and she found that drone. I give her so much credit. And if you haven't, you should definitely look that video up and look at it.
Yeah, that's
Marcus, can you post it in DroneNation if you find it?
I actually posted it in Drone Seeker, so I can go find it again, Ron. And but it is interesting.
Brook on foot.
Sam Burns says the lipo batteries would be lighter than lithium, so maybe that's you know.
That's how they got the weight down.
And they produce more power too.
Well, that would mean the difference in that, you know, especially that wind resistance going to that level 5.
And Jack Martin said the enough batteries go into sleep mode to protect the battery from really going dead on you.
Right.
except for Brian.
But here's what sleeve in mid-flight. That's the problem. I didn't see that drone. I didn't see that video. Somebody said she was on the Ken Herron show. I guess she's talking about the girl that Ray was talking about.
Oh, did they have
she
her
was. She was on Thursday Night Live. Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't watch. I didn't say that, but I'm sorry.
Well, so what I thought was wild about that is she just free climbed up the side of the thing and cut that crap out of her hands, but then took no water with her or any kind of tools or anything, and then ran into hornets on that big craggy rock and got stung a bunch of times. She was pissed because the GPS didn't tell her exactly where the drone was at. You know, she misunderstood. She thought that it would always be active on the drone. Well, obviously it'd been up there for a couple of days, so it was not. But she did find it, which, Ray, that was a miracle, right? I mean,
I know.
Yeah. And then how do you get down then? Well, she freaking dived off the side of this rock. Yeah. It was wild.
This sounds like a movie rather than the YouTube video.
It was the most suspenseful YouTube video I've watched. It really was.
Eric Rose is asking, does anybody have the Xeno Pro Plus?
Well, I think somebody on this show does.
Well, it is. It's still in the box, but yeah, I'm gonna dig that out and got to get that out in the air. Now, its claim to fame, and I bought that because you know, I'm a big fan of the original Xeno. The original Xeno, I really enjoyed that little drone, and this thing is basically the same drone, more range, more flight time. They're claiming a 43-minute flight time. But also, one of the problems with the original Xeno was that it did not have a smart battery in it, and they would have problems with those batteries, and people lost their drones because the battery would go bad, similar to what happened to Brian with his Anafi. So
that's a butt update.
Yeah, this supposedly cures that problem with the. So anyway,
what kind of drone did she lose? What did she?
It was I'm trying to remember. It was a Mini, wasn't it, Ray? Or what was it?
I think it was a Mavic Pro.
Yeah, it was a Mavic Pro.
Pro.
Yeah,
a Mavic. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna have to watch that tonight.
Hey, so the part that I didn't get, Ray, is so she dove into the water. How did she protect the drone? I mean, or did she just ruin the drone when she dove in?
No, she said no. She put it in a dry bag.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep.
I missed that part.
Wow.
Well, she came prepared or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta see this.
As long as she didn't land on it, you know.
Well,
and the drone still flies.
He'll dive off that bridge and retrieve his Anafi.
No, I don't think Brian would do that.
Yeah. Put on the scuba gear.
Well, guys, I think we kind of hashed out all of the Mavic Mini 2 rumors, and most of them aren't rumors anymore because Greg confirmed a lot of the stuff. He's held it. He's seen what was written inside the box. So a lot of this is no longer rumor. Right. It's fact.
Yep.
I tell you, I'm so glad to hear it, Greg. You really, really did a good investigation there, as they say.
He's our lead reporter now, Ray.
Everybody needs to go to Best Buy tomorrow and try to pick them up a drone.
It's kind of like a fish story, though. We don't have a picture, but hey, you know.
Well, I posted a video. It's got a picture of it.
Okay, so we do. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Little. Shows it in the case.
And Johnny, he's on the Best Buy security camera.
Yeah, absolutely. He's probably got a little check by his name. He can't, he can't go.
His little picture's behind the main register now. Watch this guy when he comes in. He tries to get those drones early.
Hey, he didn't do anything wrong. He sure. Hey, I wish he'd have got out the door with it.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah,
I
me
wish
too.
Tonight here.
Me too.
And we could have did a little we could do a little like eBay auction here, and you could probably have been a rich man tonight before we got off the show.
Well, if I would have got it, I wouldn't sell it.
Well,
I'd hold that one.
Everybody's got their price, Greg.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for having me on. And
Yeah,
it was a great, it was a fun. I think it was a great day for droners today. I mean, it was like incredible, you know, with people going back and forth. Is this video, is it real? Is it fake? You know, is this true? But today was, I'll tell you what, you know, I think just looking at YouTube and Facebook and texting with everybody, it was really a fun day today.
I've never seen such information come out about a new drone in such a short amount of time, Johnny.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that was right at 9 o'clock, and I would say by 11, you know, we done had the video. They done tracked the guy down, and so yeah, it was. And people was going to Best Buy to buy, you know. So yeah, it was a pretty eventful day for DJI and Best Buy actually.
The guy that does the publicity work over at DJI, he could take the next week and a half off now. He has nothing he doesn't need to advertise.
Well. Hey, it's going to be a good week here coming up, and it's not that far from the 4th. So,
yeah, coming up shortly.
Well, you better get those hurricanes pushed out there by the 4th, because you don't want to take that Mini up in those high winds.
Well, hey, you know, we get through this. You know, of course, the last 4 hurricanes, I said it would be the last, so I really don't know anymore.
Hey, I just put that link to Brooks' video in the chat.
Oh yeah.
Oh, great.
I'm definitely gonna watch that.
Yeah, so thank you very much for coming on and providing that information, putting that great post in DroneNation, Johnny. And Greg, I'll let you sign out here too. Do you have any final?
Right. Well, I just appreciate you guys having me on the show tonight, and just sorry I couldn't get that drone so we could explore it more. But
Yeah. No, that's good.
We'd have had the highest ratings in YouTube history if you'd had that drone on the set tonight.
I sure tried. I want to try again tomorrow too. So
we'll do a special show if you can get it tomorrow. You just let us know, and we'll do a pop-up show on that.
Yeah.
Well, we could get you front and center on the Build the Drone Reviewers show.
I'm like Morgan. Just think of all the big drone channels that, you know, hey, they got those and they can't say anything. That's kind of cool. But anyway, hey.
Right.
Well, and the ones that the gossip channels are the ones that get me. Well, you guys both scooped them, and that guy in Georgia, you know, I just think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So thanks so much for contacting us, Greg, and that story about going to Best Buy. I mean, that was just the best thing I've heard in a long time or whatever. So we really appreciate you coming on tonight and telling us. So you got to come back more often, Greg. So you have an open invite to come back anytime.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys having me on. I had fun.
Thanks, Greg.
Yeah.
Got to figure out the chat part of it though.
Yeah.
The last time I tried to chat, I kind of checked out.
Uh-oh.
So, all right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get off here.
All right.
You guys read up.
Good night.
Y'all have a good evening, and everybody stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Poor Greg's he's got to go shovel that. What do you say? 1-2 inches of snow out there.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of snow. Yeah.
Now, you were getting snow down in Louisiana, just a couple flakes or whatever now and then.
No, I said with the year of 2020, yes, we will have snow this year. I would. I would almost make a bet.
Yeah.
Marcus, you have any final thoughts to take us out tonight?
Yeah, no, like I just want to echo what everybody said. God, what a fun show tonight, and thank you, Johnny and Greg and Ray for all the contributions. And it just was like you said, it was a fun day today, watching things as the news came in, and that always makes it fun. And mostly, I've got some pretty good weather coming up here. So I'm hoping to get out and fly some drones. Need to get some. I've got a couple drones in the box here. I've got that Hubsan Xeno Pro Plus that I'm anxious to get out, and then I also have an MJX B12 Bugs 12, which is a GPS camera drone that I'm anxious to get out of the box and see how that guy goes too. So, and then everybody's big news is that new Mini coming. So.
I gotta say, you better get all these reviews done, and clear the deck for the fourth or whatever.
Well, I mean, the point of it is, there's going to be a bazillion Mini videos, as there should be, right? But honestly, I'm like you guys. I'm looking forward to just flying the darn thing, right? I mean, getting it out and flying it. So that should be fun. And I guess the other thing that I want to say before we sign off is, I can say at least here in Idaho, and I know a lot of other states, this COVID thing is kind of going crazy. So, everybody just be careful and stay safe and go out and fly your drone and have fun.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Marcus. And I want to, Captain Ray had to duck out early here. I think he's having connection issues, but I want to thank you, Captain Ray, for coming on. Been meaning to get him on for a long time now, and it's a perfect show to bring him on since he's such a big, proponent of the Mini. He's had the Mini almost from day one, and he was flying a Mini in Florida, where some of us were housebound in bad weather here in other parts of the country. So he was kind of flying for a lot of us last winter. But again, I thank Ray for coming on. So much tonight, and I'm sorry I didn't get to go through the names in the chat. I tried to highlight a lot of people in the second half of the show, get their names up on the screen there, but I'm sorry I didn't get to go through and call everybody's name out, which I'd like to do, but we just had so many information, so much guests tonight. I just didn't get it worked in, so I want to apologize to everybody who joined us. I didn't get to say their name out, but come back. I'll try to do better. Get you next week. But I do appreciate everybody that comes in here and chat. We see a lot of the names, over and over. Supporters of the show, and I really want to thank you people. And some new people came in tonight. Followed Captain Ray. I hope you liked the show, and I hope maybe you'll come back and see us some other time. So with that being said, like Marcus said, be safe out there. With the COVID, and today was a fun day. It's nice to have a good news day with the news good, not news bad. We're so used to these days of it's a news-filled day, but it's all bad news. Where today it was kind of all good news for a change. So I'm going to end.
Fun to think about. Yeah.
And we'll see you next week on DroneNation episode 18. And Marcus and I will try to do a live show the day that the Mini 2 comes out. And maybe we'll have Johnny and a couple other people try to join us too that day. Now, the problem is if it comes out the 4th, I have an appointment during the day, so I will not be available in the morning. But maybe Marcus will do it on his own. Maybe we can get a couple other guys to help him out. Some of maybe Johnny and some of the regs to help him out. But if it's at night, I will be available. So just keep an eye out for that. We'll talk more about that next Monday on DroneNation episode 17. So good night, everyone, and be safe out there.
Thank you.